Die! Die! Why won't you die? Why won't you die?
Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And ideas are bulletproof.
Hello again. That was a scene from V for Vendetta, my absolute favorite movie, as it currently stands. It was just a good lead into this political thing, which at the posting of this video will be tomorrow. And this video is about politics, but I'm not telling anybody you need to go vote for candidate A or B, or this person's a liar, and they're all liars. And I actually got into an argument, or a discussion, if you will, day before yesterday. It'll start off, well, who you gonna vote for? And then they'll be like, they're all crooks anyway. I mean, I'm not gonna vote for anybody, probably. But you know who's really good? Mitt Romney. Or, you know who's really, they're all crooks and they're all lying anyway. But you know who I'm going to vote for? Barack Obama. They end up saying whom they're going to vote for anyway. They try to make it off as if they're bipartisan or they're not allied to one party. But then they immediately veer off and they're like, but this person is the best candidate ever on the planet. This person is absolute perfection. So I don't understand why people do that, where they put up that guise, that facade at the very beginning of a political discussion. Because the longer you start talking about it, you find out that they really think that that person's 100% truthful. They're not the liar they just said they were 10, 15 minutes ago. So, but that's not this. I digress. That's not even the point of this video. The point of this video is during that discussion that I had with the one individual. Hold on. He's like, well, I know I don't like Obama, so I'm going to vote for Romney because I think he's the better choice of the two. And it made me really mad. It made me like crazy, insanely mad, because there's not two candidates. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candidates. And they are as follows. They are Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, Gary Johnson, Jill Stein, Virgil Goode, and Rocky Anderson. And you're probably like, I don't know who the hell those people are. I must not be wasting my vote on them because they're not going to win anyway because I didn't know who they were. Well, it may be too late to coerce a lot of people with this video the day before Election Day. But for future, assuming everyone doesn't riot after whomever gets elected or re-elected into office day after tomorrow, whenever that happens, the problem is that people do not know what their options truly are. There are people going to the polls tomorrow that will vote for Obama because they don't like Mitt Romney, and vice versa. There's people voting for Mitt Romney that are like, Mitt Romney's still not a very good option, but I'm still going to vote for Mitt Romney just because I don't like Obama. And some people, Obama is like spot on with what they believe and what they think. And some people, I guess Romney. But I say that because Romney flip-flops like crazy, and I don't. You can say his view is X or his view is Y. I don't think he knows what his view is because he's just playing the political game to get elected. Real talk. Not meaning to offend or tell you whom to vote for, but don't vote for Mitt Romney. On the real. I don't care. Vote, like, do a write-in for like my cup of tea. It'll get more done. That's beneficial. I would rather have nothing happen than to have all that bad stuff happen that he talks about. It's bad in my opinion. Some of it, of course, is going to be opinion based. It's my opinion, my video. You can go suck it if you don't like that. You go make your own video. Actually, I prefer that. I will be posting here on screen, should be appearing right now as I say this, This is my political compass test score. Well, you may say, well, Steele, what's a political compass? A political compass is a diagram or a graph showing where you stand politically. We have other graphs showing what it means to be authoritarian and libertarian, and we have, of course, we have left and right. Everyone always hears about left and right, but no one ever hears about up and down. And I think that it is a slight media manipulative reason that we do not. Because you can see here, if you locate Mitt Romney and Barack Obama on the right side, you're going to be sitting here in your head going, but wait, right is supposed to be conservative. But why is Barack Obama on the right? Most Democrats that are elected in office today, especially any of them that are ever going to run for president, are only left in comparison to those on the far right, neoconservative, radical right. So they're not even centrist anymore. They're not even in the middle. They're still all right. They're still basically for the same policies. That's why you see very, very little things happening in the actual government itself. The other portion of this is that people may get through, this portion of the video and be like, but I still do not know whom I would actually vote for. If I have all these candidates, I do not know where they sit. There is a neat little site, and I've been to it the previous election, but the only time that the site probably gets hits is my guess. It is called isidewith.com, and it is just much like the political compass test, which I will also link in the description for anyone to take. Either one of these. If you do not know whom you most side with, and there's not going to be any perfect candidate for anybody ever unless you yourself run, because nobody's going to find that one person, and even it's not going to be perfect for everybody. So not everybody can be happy with politics. It's not going to happen, because you still have some people who are like, well, climate change is a load of crap, and other people are like, my whole life is climate change. Like, I have CO2 eliminating devices in my home because I am global warming. There are just some people that their entire lives revolve around it. And some of this can be measured and some of it cannot. Like, what is right and wrong? Is the death penalty right or wrong? Some people value human life like this. Some people value it like it's the largest, most grandiose thing on the planet. Some people think people are expendable. Some people think war's good in some cases, others do not. So you still have opinion. It's not all based in fact. What is based in fact, I think, should be those are what laws should be made around, if at all possible. On the isidewith.com website, I took the test, and I did not know anything about the candidate, what people would call independent candidates, and that word makes me mad, and I'll explain that in a second. I had not heard any of them speak. It said that I should be voting for, based on my answers, for Jill Stein. And it explained her opinions briefly, and I did agree with a lot of what she said, but I then went independent, and it came second was Gary Johnson. It was by like a 3% difference in what I said. I don't know how that happened or how that's possible. But I looked at Jill Stein's videos of like people interviewing her, and then I looked at Gary Johnson's videos. And from the questions that they got, the multiple queries that they were given, I agreed with her, focused really, because she's running in a like new Green Party, or it's a form of the Green Party, and environment is important and environmental laws are important, but she makes that her main priority. And I think with the economy in the state that it's in and the wars that we're in currently, the environment is a priority, but it's not tip top. So I will probably end up voting for Gary Johnson in this election. Spoiler alert. Because there was only one thing that I disagreed with Gary Johnson about, and that was health care, because basically it came down to opinion. Like I said, there's nobody going to be perfect. It came down to an opinion that he said health basically is not a basic human right, and that you should have to earn and pay for it. I think health, or at least a basic understanding of health, wellness is a basic human right, and that should be sustained. And I think we should have universal health care. As a matter of fact, I think really, really extreme on this, and think that all private insurance should be made illegal, because I see it along the lines of protection money, as in if you have a gang and then they come to your house and then they threaten you, then they say, hey, if you pay us, we won't beat the crap out of you. If you pay us, we will let you live. I see it along the lines of that. It's almost like a bully. So, not particularly fond of private health options. And people will be like, oh, so Mitt Romney wants to get rid of Medicare or Medicaid, whatever the case may be, whatever public health option. I'm like, yeah, get rid of all of it and just give everybody the same thing. I think we should be emulating Canada or Britain. I said earlier that I disliked the word independent. Every time I hear somebody say it is an independent party, there is no such thing as an independent party. Independent is what they call someone that is not part of the two major parties in the U.S. I'm talking from a U.S. perspective because I'm from the U.S. Obviously, it's what independent means that they do not get state funding. I think it should be divided up to where it becomes illegal for people running for office to use public money. I think it may seem like it costs more to start with, but you give, say we have Mitt Romney that has tons and tons of, bukus and bukus of money. Just money coming out of everywhere. He just has lots of money. So he can just use all of his personal money if he wishes, not any money from backers or anything, in his campaign. I think that we need to make that illegitimate. I think we need to stop allowing that to happen. Say we give Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, Gary Johnson, Jill Stein, Virgil Goode, and Rocky Anderson $100,000 or $250,000 for their entire campaign, like for ads, for campaign ads, or for a bus, tour buses. That's still a lot of money. Them going on TV is different. Them speaking in public is different. I mean actual ads, because it costs money to run ads. Therefore, they have to pick and ration the money that they are given, and they have to report how much money that they're given. And this will also create a report. This has to be reported to create a bureau or something that would monitor this. You would have this list, and it would say candidate 1, 2, and 3. Candidate 1 spent this much money on positive ads towards themselves, and they spent X amount of dollars on negative ads, and they spent this much just on a bus going around the country, and they spent this much on travel, and whatever is in their budget is all that they're allowed to spend. If they spend any more, they are kicked out of the race. I think that is a perfectly reasonable idea, because what we have now is that Gary Johnson and Rocky Anderson and Virgil Goode and Jill Stein don't have near the press coverage. They don't have near the money to be running for people to know about them. They do not. It's because Barack Obama and Mitt Romney have backers, and they're able to have people give money to them for their political campaigns, and they get tons and tons of press coverage. And it makes this game that is being played really, really unfair. I would rather have, or at least have known what my options were because not getting into individual policies at the moment, as far as like what I do agree and not agree with. This is just about the political system in general. At least I try to make this video be that way. This political system is messed up. People only thinking left and right, and what it does is it causes a dualistic way of looking at things. It's like, this is bad, this is good. So then you're just pitting people against one another instead of thinking. People don't think, what are my other options? They just think, I don't have any other options. Just like the guy I spoke with the other evening. He thought, what other options are there? I don't want to not vote because then I can't do anything. It needs to be fixed. I mean, I've noticed this in past elections, and it's never really changed. And I'm assuming it's been like that. I've only been on this planet for 23 years at the posting of this video, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with elections. I've only been able to vote for 2, but I think history, having a 2-party system, makes things not work so well. Like, we have a Green Party here, we have a Nazi Party here, we have a Libertarian Party here, we have tons and tons of other parties that nobody even realized exist. Most people would vote for a Nazi Party member, but you get the idea. You didn't know we had one. Most people probably didn't know we had one. That's it for this